All right, welcome back to the show. And I am sorry about the long absence. Had some issues coming up. And it's a pandemic, it's a crisis. We deal with what we can deal with, and we do what we can, trying to move forward. And we're going to get you all caught up on the latest information. I know there's a lot to cover. And for me, it was really touch and go for a while. I was able to get the AstraZeneca vaccine. But I still got COVID. I think I got the South African version because that vaccine apparently isn't effective against that. But we were able to make do, and even in a crisis, the ventilator that we showed how to make on a previous episode came in handy. I figure if General Motors can make a ventilator, Steve can make a ventilator. And it is getting better. I'm feeling I'm feeling on the mend. We're down to 6 liters. So we're doing all right. And thank goodness we had a plan, and we were ready even with limited resources to make that plan work. And I would suggest everyone have a plan. Don't just think it's all over, bury your head in the sand, just get ready to die. No, you fight and you make it work. Hopefully our new microphone is working. So, we're going to do what we can do. I'm going to make the best show I can with what I have. I'm not going to make the best show I can with what I want to have. So we're doing what we have. And that's how you get through life. This is a good life lesson for all of us. Okay, we are here in the Philippines still, of course. The Philippines is the most locked down country in the world. We've been in lockdown here for over 1 year. On Sundays in my barangay, which is like a political subdivision, a neighborhood, they lock the whole neighborhood down on Sundays just for 1 day. Apparently the virus only spreads 1 day. But masks required everywhere, face shields required in most stores. Even on motorcycles, they make you wear a piece of plexiglass between the passenger and the driver. Even though you could be having sex earlier that day at home, you still have to have a plastic shield between you when you're driving a motorcycle. And I drive a motorcycle, and let me just tell you, when I'm driving the motorcycle, I'm not really worried about the virus. I'm worried about these people that don't know how to drive running into me, or a dog, or whatever on the street. But hey, I'm a visitor here. I'm a guest. I follow their rules. As they used to say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So, okay, but again, like I said, I did get the AstraZeneca AstraZeneca vaccine. I had some kind of crazy side effects, but I was very relieved to hear in Europe they were having side effects too. So, when something goes wrong, you always think, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? Or it was a relief to find out it wasn't me. It was the vaccine. Didn't even work. At least for the South African variation, if that's the virus I had. But I don't know. But just good. Hey, aside for a little bit of time on the ventilator, I made it through. Thankfully, that is there. Okay. And I'm working with notes this time, which is a little confusing. Plus, I've got my monitor. If I'm looking distracted, I've got my monitor going, and this is like kind of the hottest scene of the porn I'm watching, so I'm hoping I'm not too distracted. I could use the pause button, but there's only so much time in the day I like to multitask. Okay. All right, ventilator. Okay, that all worked. Okay, and now for the latest situation here that we're dealing with, and that's what we're going to do, is we're going to deal with it. And knowledge is king. Did get some new information, the latest thing from the WHO, that is the World Health Organization, along with Dr. Fauci in the United States, the two leading sources of information, and always 100% trustworthy, completely transparent. Not that they've ever made a mistake, but if they did make a mistake in anything, I'm sure they would correct that and clarify the situation. because you need to have that trust. And we're dealing with an unknown. It's nice to have a trusting organization. And the WHO, after an exhaustive and thorough study of the source of the virus, the WHO says there is no evidence that the virus, formerly known as the Wuhan or Chinese virus, it did not come from a lab run by the Communist Party to develop and upgrade viruses in China. And even if it did come from that lab, and it didn't, there was, quote from the WHO, there was no effort for the CCP to spread the virus around the world while simultaneously locking down domestic air travel in China and even bus travel and any moving from town to town. No effort domestically. So we know that, I mean, that just a natural phenomenon that just, like the Spanish flu. I mean, no one said Spanish flu. They didn't say the Spanish tried to do that. Okay. We know this report, and we do know this report, again, is solid. It's from the WHO, funded by China. And it was so well researched because the CCP said, and they were so concerned with a thorough and safe report, they provided it to the WHO. Sounds like who, something like Dr. Seuss, which we don't talk about because apparently now he's racist. The WHO, they did not allow any outside investigators from the WHO into China because of the danger and risk involved with the virus. So this was all provided by the Chinese, which of course the Chinese Communist Party is right on the ground there. They were able to provide the latest, most thorough information. It's too bad the U.S. government can't be that effective and efficient in caring for its citizens, because the Chinese are just, it's communist. They're for the people. That's what their sole concern is. They're not trying to make money. It's for the people. All right, and I know, I hope you've noticed, again, I forgot my microphone. I hope that works better. I'm also recording this on a cell phone because the person that's doing my editing doesn't know how to use a laptop, only a cell phone, and from what I've seen, doesn't really know how to use the cell phone, but is more comfortable with a cell phone. And I can make whatever work, whatever I have work. So cut. Don't cut. Don't touch. Okay. All right, and that's kind of it for the show, other than our wrap-up, which sometimes takes longer than the show, depending how I go. I do have a script here. I've only covered about 1% of it. The rest, I just kind of, whatever comes into my mind is what we talk about. Always sticking with facts and information that's useful, though, just so we all know that. We're on the same page on that. Because the facts do matter. And I know what you're thinking with the improvements of the show. You're saying, Steve, the show looks great. It sounds great. Of course, you look great. You always look great. That's what I always get in the comments anyway. And I don't like that to have that go to my head. But the new format is working, and I appreciate that. And but we are still trying to make some improvements and make things better. And this is going to be a constant improvement, I'm hoping. I mean, we're at least a constant effort to improve. Some things are going to fail, some are going to work. The ones that don't work, we won't use again. The ones that do work, we will use again, just like my ventilator. Now, we do have a new feature here. This was recommended by Google, either up here or up here. I can't remember how this stuff works. When I see other people making videos and a picture comes up, I think they're holding. Well, let me show you some of my pandemic artwork. I painted during the lockdown. I made these little wooden frames. That was going to be a Christmas tree, and then it didn't work out at a Christmas tree, so I turned it into this, and it didn't really work out. It didn't really work out for this either, but that's what I have. And art is in the eye of the beholder, and I'm beholden to this art. And then here, this is just an abstract. And this one's nice. because if you don't have space on your wall to hang it this way, you can hang it this way, and it just doesn't even matter. And really, actually, I mean, it looks kind of nice like that. You can see the grain of the wood, it's wood, natural, and then you've got the industrial stuff with the hardware, the screws, some metal wire. And it's kind of like it's the blending of, kind of like our modern culture. It's the blending of nature and the natural world, and then the blending of the man-made world. I'm gonna put another hook on the back of this, because this side here, it's like, looks like whatever. But we did sell a couple of these. Okay, we didn't really sell a couple of these, but I might have, if I had tried, I might have been able to sell them. I didn't even try. I just think, like, why bother? But okay. Now again, did I mention, and okay. So we are, and on a serious note here, during the pandemic, the passing, love him or hate him, one of the most influential men in America, or women, there goes the trigger alert, one of the most influential people in the world, or in America, known even 30 years ago as the most dangerous man in America. Of course, none other than Rush Limbaugh passed away of lung cancer. I was able to listen to his shows I think I listened to his last show, not whining about himself. He was, loved his audience. And I was privileged to listen to him for pretty much his whole career. I was not privileged to live in Sacramento, California, but I was privileged when I did live in Sacramento, California, to occasionally hear his show on the radio when he was only in Sacramento before he went national. And then later, somewhere else, I just happened to pick up his show on the radio when he became national, and was gigantic, and very funny, very wise. You don't need to agree with him. That's not the point of it. He had an opinion, and you can learn from that whether you like him or not. But there's no way I'm changing someone's mind on Rush Limbaugh. If you never listened to him and you just read about him in the New York Times, he was the worst person ever. If you listen to him, you understand that in his heart he was trying to help and be very entertaining, and it's what he believed, and he was true to that the whole time. But if you want to see Rush Limbaugh at his prime, I'll even try to put a link. I've often said I'll attach a link. I've never even tried, though. I might be able to do it. But a link to, he had a TV show for a couple years that was very, very funny and would not be allowed today. And it was nothing offensive, but just, people can't understand or can't tolerate an opinion that's different from them, just because they're weak and they're soft. They're little soy boys. But we'll put a link there or try. If not, you can just check on YouTube, Rush Limbaugh TV show, and I think almost every episode's on there, and a lot of them are recorded on a VCR or it looked like on a camcorder, pointed at the TV, and then put onto YouTube. I don't know how they did it, but whatever. All right, we're going to have more information next show, and I'm going to have another show within 48 hours. Today is April 10th, 12th, something around there. Something around the 10th, 8th, something around there. It might take a week to get this uploaded. I might upload it today, who knows? Or it might never get uploaded. Now, if it never gets uploaded, you can just disregard everything I said, which I guess you wouldn't know I said it because it never got uploaded. But we'll give it a try, and I do promise if this actually works and we're able to edit and do what I'm trying to do, there will be more content, and it will I know it's hard to believe, but it'll get even better than what we have today, because we're looking for progress. Every show wants to be a little better than the last show. All right, thank you very much for tuning in. And remember, big solid for me if you hit that like button and leave a comment. The comment could be just a smiley face or something rude to me, whatever you want. I'm probably not going to read it, but it helps the algorithm apparently, and I've got this sneaking suspicion that I'm going to need all the help with the algorithm I can get. All right, thank you very much for watching, and take care of yourselves. And if you have the ability, try to take care of somebody else. That's a gift if you can do it. Thank you very much.